Hey, this is Steve, Nashville, Tennessee, and you're listening to Count It Off.
Welcome to Count It Off with your host, Jeff Dayton, where we explore the world of music through the eyes of some fascinating guests. So, get tuned up and let's count it off.
Well, here we are. Count it off. If I sound tired, we just finished walking through the entire Minnesota State Fair and back, and I'm here at KSTP Channel 5 in St. Paul with the Flashlight King, Mr. Joe Soucheray, and we're going to chat in his office for a little bit about how you get a podcast with 1 million listeners. Joe, how are you, man?
I'm good, and I don't know how to answer that because this podcast is the result of a long-time radio show. And here's what was interesting. You want to hear a little interesting story about how ratings work?
Stories are how we roll here.
Okay, as I understand it, back in the days when people filled out a paper ballot to record their ratings, we did really well. You'd come to the state fair, and if you went to Garage Logic, and it came time at the end of the week to remember what show you saw at the fair, you just wrote down Garage Logic. It did wonders for the ratings. Then the ratings changed to something digital, where you wore a beeper on your belt, and at the end of the day, you put the beeper in some sort of monitoring device, and that sent your exposure to radio to some central location. Nobody plays talk radio in a coffee shop. Nobody plays talk radio in a mechanic shop maybe in a mechanic shop, but nobody plays talk radio in their store. So our ratings, what the hell? And to the point where that coincided maybe with a general decline in the country of AM radio. So then we morphed into this podcast, and I discovered that we didn't have low ratings at all. Everywhere I went in the state, there was acknowledgement of Garage Logic. I mean, those were anecdotal because they couldn't be recorded as a rating, but it was all, it verified the idea that that little beeper people were not capturing us, but people were still listening to it. Anyway, that gave me the head start. So the podcast had bones. It had legs to stand on because it was pretty much the same crew and pretty much the same topics and format that we shifted from a radio station to a podcast.
And when did the podcast actually begin?
September of 2018.
2018. So that's really only 7 years ago as we record this.
Right.
And you've grown and grown. Have you seen the numbers just soar, or was it a steady incline?
Steady.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you needed to be patient at first for those numbers to go up? I mean, was there a why aren't we bigger kind of thing at all?
No, there wasn't that. When we first started the podcast, I had zero knowledge of podcasts. Zero. And so even now, 7 years later, I'm still learning a lot about it. There's 740,000 podcasts in the United States.
Really?
740,000. And we haven't even come close to cracking the upper echelon. We maybe are in the top 25%, but I don't know how in the hell anybody gets to the top 10% or 5%.
Oh, it's got to be.
It's just a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that are really big are the ones where the girl's married to an NFL star, or it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's podcast or whatever, or it's somebody that, it's.
My wife's always given me grief about that, and I say, look, if my girlfriend was Taylor Swift, we'd be number one in the country. I think Travis and Jason, theirs is called New Heights, a podcast. And, well, it's no wonder if they have Taylor Swift on, the whole world's going to tune in. There's nothing I can do. See you, Johnny.
Hey, come here, say hi to the folks here. This is the Count It Off crew. Say hey.
Hi.
Tell us who you are and what you're doing.
I'm John Haidt, and I'm Joe's news guy, and I played guitar with Jeff today at the Minnesota State Fair, which was a blast.
Yeah. Well, how do you like the gig? I mean, how many guys does it take to form a team like you guys have?
I wouldn't go with many more than what we have, and we got a really nice mix, and we all get along great, which is, that's 3/4 of the battle. Really.
So basically on mic, you are the news guy. You have other people that do other jobs. What are those?
The other jobs.
On air with the show.
Oh, well, Kenny, he's kind of the main, aside from Joe, he's the main agitator and contributor.
He reads the newspaper.
Yeah, he reads the newspaper. Exactly. And you got Rook, who quips now and then.
He's Rook.
He's rookie.
He's there because he's Rook.
And then you got Chris, who
he's a producer.
Producer, and ventures opinions now and then, and we have to correct him.
Well, that's great. That's a great crew. And then you have the support of the Hubbard Broadcasting family.
Yes.
And that's where we are right now, is it Hubbard?
Yes.
Yeah.
They built us this studio.
Yep.
Really? Yeah. Well, it must be value to them because, they've taken good care of you guys. It's beautiful.
It's been great. It's been great.
Great studio. Thanks, John. Good to see you, bud. Pick with you next time.
See you Monday.
See you Monday, John.
All right.
Well, there you go. I mean, you watched it grow once you got going. When did you realize that you were getting a million hits a month on your website?
Is it that many?
That's what I've been told.
That would be recently then.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's. I think when it started, it started from such a group of radio intense people that they too didn't know a great deal about podcasting, and I think that they thought, let's take a flyer. It was a flyer. They didn't have any significant anticipation that it would succeed. But to their credit, they let it succeed. They let it grow. They let it go. And I can't thank them enough. But, I've been working for these people for 35 years. And I think you met Ginny when you were on the bus today. And
yeah.
I mean, these are great people, and they decided to run with it, and it's paid off for them and us. It's just worked out really well.
Well, under the umbrella of Hubbard Broadcasting, GL is part of. How many other podcasts are they providing hosting for?
Under the umbrella of GL, there's 3.
Okay. And then underneath Hubbard, there are quite a few others, right?
Yeah, and they're all over the country.
Uh-huh.
There are some here that aren't under the GL umbrella.
Okay.
And there are some here that are under the GL umbrella. And then elsewhere in the country, there are many.
Yeah. Well, it's a great format that people are kind of catching on to. They have time when they don't have to be, setting their timers on their VCRs to catch your show.
But I come from such a radio background and run into so many people who were radio-only listeners. To this day, it happened today at the State Fair, where somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, I miss your radio show." I said, "Hand me your phone." They handed me the phone. I go, garagelogic.com, and I said, "Here, you're listening to it every day. You won't have to miss a thing." And the beauty of it is if you got to run into the store, just put it on pause and pick it up when you come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's a generational. There's a generation of Americans who are going to be dragged along into the podcast world. It's foreign to them. All it means is playable on demand pod. That's all it means. And it's like listening to the radio show whenever you want.
Yeah. When we kicked off the show today, and I know you do this every show, you list what episode number we're on. What was today?
I have it with me.
Oh, you have to look it up. I'm sure you do, because it's been a lot. It's been more than mine.
1,604.
1,604 episodes.
Unlike a lot of podcasts, we are daily.
Yeah.
Many podcasts are once a week. We just figured, let's do what we know how to do. And that's a radio show that's been tinkered with to become a podcast.
Yeah. Well, you have such characters and bits. Your role as the mayor of Gumption County, that is tremendous. I love it.
It all came from the idea that anything worth figuring out can be figured out in the garage. And it came from the idea that we're just inundated in too much government.
Yeah.
A lot of what happens in this country is just because there's too much government. It's not streamlined. It's not efficient. And we take care of it in the garage.
Yeah. And then you have a thing that I love. I remember I was a victim to the cylinder index. And you guys said, "What's your cylinder index?" And I said, "What's that?"
It's how you measure your self-esteem.
Yeah. Tell them what it really is.
Cylinder index is count the number of cylinders you own. And that can count dead cylinders in the garage. Like you got a bad lawnmower, that cylinder still counts in your index.
Okay.
And you want to be at your age or more.
Oh, dear.
And I was for a long time. I'm not now because, damn it, I'm getting old. And I'm urban. There's a difference between urban and rural. Rural guys are expected to have really healthy cylinder index because they have buildings.
Now, who's your guy that's in Alexandria?
That's Kenny.
Kenny.
He's got a good cylinder index.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's got a few.
He's above his age. I'm sure his cylinder index is I would say in the 80s.
Wow.
Mine right now is in the 50s.
Wow.
I'm a little embarrassed by that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when I was on the show and they said, what's your cylinder index? I said, I own a Toyota minivan with 6 cylinders. They said, you're a disgrace.
So it's pathetic. You shouldn't even be talking about it. You're not even allowed to entertain the world of cylinders.
Oh, well, good thing I talk about music.
That's right.
Yeah, and you guys spin some music, don't you?
We do. That was a big, big part of radio. And unfortunately, on podcasts, we can't play music.
Right.
We can only play stuff that John Haidt and his kid write, or I can play your stuff because you've given us permission. But we just can't randomly pick an REM album or the Stones.
I don't walk straight and narrow. I don't care if people stare or not. No, I don't need no criticizing. People try to change my mind. So what? 'Cause I can't wear somebody else's shoes. I can only be me, win or lose. So walk with me, stand by me, and live like we like and we love. We'll ride the tide with sails on high, fearless and reckless and tough. I dance like I feel it, I call it like I see it, I sing like I was born to do. Don't take me for granted, I stand where I'm planted, and most of all, I stand for you. 'Cause I live my truth. Well, the licenses are what eat up a lot of the operating costs.
And there's a whole floor above us full of lawyers, and they get really, they watch that. We're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate you playing my stuff and making me part of the family. And Garage Logic is out there every day. There's a new episode, huh?
Every day. And how did it that we came by you? How did we meet each other?
I think because I was playing the Liney Lodge at the State Fair in 2015 was the first time, if not that. And John Hines was over at CCO then, and I got to talk to him that year. And he became a wonderful friend for a while. I've lost track of him, but I came by and you guys were sitting on the porch of the little house that's next door to the KSTP 5 building. Right. Minnesota State Fair is the second biggest fair in the country, I think. Texas has a bigger one, yeah. And they brought me over, the gal from the publicity department at the State Fair, for the Liney Lodge, brought me over, and you guys, a bunch of rascals sitting on the porch, just talking like a bunch of guys in the garage. I mean, we were talking about that. That's just hilarious. It's the same thing. There's another radio station that has an outdoor show, and the guys just sit and jawbone and talk about fishing, and it's so relaxed. It's not format driven. We haven't got like the timer going down to the commercial and all of that kind of thing. You guys
That's the beauty of the podcast. Yeah. There's no clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there is for YouTube purposes, but we tend to ignore it anyway.
So somebody who's listening to this show counted off, and they're saying, how the heck do we get a podcast? Okay, there's a lot on YouTube about that, how you do that. But how do you get yourself promoted to the point where more than just your mom and her friends listen?
See, I have an unfair advantage to answer that question because we brought to the podcast an audience that was already listening to the radio show.
Oh.
And we've grown that, and that's great. But I don't know what to say to someone who's starting cold. I guess it's to dream up what's going to make you distinct from the 740,000 people who are trying this. And I don't know what that answer is. I do know that you have to make it, even though it's hard to do. Like the prep time is difficult. Mm-hmm. But then the key is you got to make it sound like it was never prepped for. It's got to be just natural. Mm-hmm. And we learned that in radio. So there again, I have I call it a disadvantage. It's a great advantage. I brought all that with me. Yeah. I got over that. I already did all that.
And did your guys, they have their own podcast too, some of them, don't you?
Reavers and a friend of his named Mike Fratelloni, they have the Friday Scramble podcast. They talk a lot about beer and wine and alcohol and events. And Kenny has the Krabby Coffee Shop.
That's funny.
Where he's crabby about stuff. And there's a guy named Tommy Mischke who tells great tales. Rookie tried it for a while. He no longer does his. But yeah, they all had going for them that radio background.
You know, I think for me, if I were to just sit with a microphone and talk, just do a monologue, I'm not funny. I'm funny looking maybe, but I don't think I could sustain anything. But it's when I have a guest that I love being able to let them do the talking, and we just sort of go back and forth. Is that kind of where you guys work?
The key to that's another key to a good podcast is the better guests you have, the show will catch on.
Huh.
People love when we have guests. They just love it, and I love it too.
Well, I know when I'm with you guys, and the day after the show that I've been on with you guys, the counter on my website goes spiking up by a factor of 10.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love that. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys more than you know. That's great. Well,
you're now you've become such a regular with us that if you're in town, you usually let us know, and you're on it. You're part of the peripheral family.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Reeves said you're no longer a guest, your family.
Yeah, you have to be at this point because, and people are getting to know your songs at the fair. You could tell that today. The fishing song, people joined in.
You got a line and I got a pole. You and me, baby, let's take a stroll. Wander on down to the waterside, cut a little bait and see what bites. 'Cause I love fishing with you, baby. I love your little catch me look. I love the way you tease me. One little wiggle and I'm on the hook. Oh, yes.
And what was the Blues Goodbye song?
Bye Bye Boogie.
Bye Bye Boogie. People knew that one.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
It's really great stuff. It's wonderful.
And in music, we've had to reinvent our industry so many times. From resisting the digital age to losing our copyrights, losing our product to the internet, and suddenly having no stream of income except micro pennies on the streaming platforms. And they are not all created equal either.
Right.
So, having some listens on a podcast, I mean, eventually someday I'll pick up some more sponsors for my show, and, I'm hoping that I can, see some financial success from it. But you're right about the prep thing. I mean, I spend more time editing the interviews to making sure that they flow well and I'm not interrupting my guests, which I do a lot.
But you're music driven.
Yeah.
And the better, the more famous the musicians you get in, which you're certainly going to be able to do, your podcast, I would think, has great chance to succeed.
Well, thanks.
People love to listen to musicians and to learn things about them that they didn't know. You're in the right city to do that. You've been in the right industry all your life to do that. I got to think it's a natural.
Well, thanks. And, I just did an interview that'll be out soon with Tommy Barbarella from Prince and the New Power Generation. And he started telling stories. And his first gig with Prince, they weren't even touring yet, was for 200,000 people in Rio for Rock in Rio. And that was the day that he started.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. I mean, I love hearing stories like that. And Matt Fink said that he was brand new with Prince as a keyboardist from the Revolution. And in his episode, he said that Prince came to him at rehearsal when they just started rehearsing. And he said, "Did you work on the part of this one song? Did you learn the keyboard part for the song?" And Matt said, no, I actually didn't know I was supposed to. And Prince said, "Well, that's okay. There's no keys on it anyway."
Oh, for goodness sake.
Those sorts of stories are the gold that I try to dig for. So,
especially with a guy like Prince, who was, he's cultivated the mystery around him. It would be fun to open that door behind that mystery and get more knowledge about him.
Yeah. And knowing kind of what a cool guy he was, it sounds like. I mean, I met him, he was only 17 when he borrowed my guitar for some of his very first stuff. And I think my guitar is on Soft and Wet on that album that had that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because he was doing a lot of stuff down at a little tiny studio at 28th and DuPont called Moon Sound.
Okay.
And we were sort of the de facto house band down there. And he came in, we called him Little Stevie Wonder because I'd never seen anybody play and sing everything like that.
Right.
And, he was innovative and everybody knew that something major was happening with this guy. Yeah. Do you have any tips for anybody that's doing a show, like how to treat your guests, or do you have some overall wisdom for us?
Well, to be real, just to be you, and you're going to be treating guests like you'd treat any guest in your house. I mean, you're not going to. I have politicians on who I vehemently disagreed with, but we've managed to keep it civil. Now, there's a lot of politicians that won't come on my show because of what I've said about them, and that's my loss. I wish they'd get in here. No, if you're just Jeff, you got no problem. You're fine. You're fine.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, I really appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
I can't wait to listen.
All right.
Count it off.
Count it off.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Hey, babe.
Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this show. We invite you to check out all the other episodes and share this channel with all of your friends. Until next time, peace.
This is Joe Soucheray, the mayor of Garage Logic. You're listening to Count It Off with Jeff Dayton. Stay tuned.